Hey everybody, Hoosier Jedi here with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 21 of Marvel's Avengers Assemble called By the Numbers. And overall, I think this was a pretty good episode. Now that the show's come back and we were sort of reintroduced to the Cabal, this is the episode where they really kick things into high gear by going after the Tesseract. Although, as a fan of the comics, I sort of have to restrain myself from calling it the Cosmic Cube. I mean, it's just, to me, that's what its proper name is. And this is an episode where, for the most part, the bad guys actually win. I mean, they give the Avengers a heck of a beatdown, and they get away with the Tesseract. And I like stories like that. I like stories where the heroes can lose, where the bad guys can win the day. Now, of course, at the end, the Avengers will get the Tesseract back or destroy it or whatever and save the world and all that other fun stuff. But seeing the heroes suffer real defeat, real serious setbacks, that was cool. I like that they were willing to do that, because even the best people don't always succeed. And this episode really highlights that Tony is a guy who, as amazingly enough, has trouble learning from his mistakes. I mean, how many times we've already seen that Tony go out there and overly rely on technology and think that technology is the solution to everything, only to have it proved wrong. I mean, that's sort of the whole thing about him and his relationship with Captain America. Captain America is always saying, "Tony, you can't rely on technology for everything. You have to factor in that human factor." And more than once, we've seen Tony apparently learn this lesson, and then by the next episode, he's forgotten it once again. And this is one of the things that really frustrates me about this show. And it's one of the things that always frustrated me about from what I've watched of another Man of Action show, Ben 10, is that Ben never seemed to learn from his mistakes. Now, granted, I only went through the first 2 seasons of that show, so that's just my perspective on that, but, you know, I'm just putting it out there. This does seem to be a real problem for the Man of Action guys when they're writing shows intended for kids, is that the characters really, really have a genuinely hard time learning from their mistakes. And while this is certainly true for people, there are some people who make the same mistakes over and over again in life, and they just never learn. But that's really not conducive to character growth and good storytelling. And you really would think that somebody like Tony would know better than to simply put his faith in nothing but numbers. Because there have been many instances throughout history where people have overly depended on nothing but numbers and facts and figures, and it has come to bite them in the butt. And Tony is a smart enough guy to know you can't break everything down into a mathematical formula. Life is just too chaotic for that. There are always going to be things that you simply can't factor in. And thinking he can do that is basically one of the great hallmarks of Tony's biggest flaw as a character, and that is he is arrogant. It's good old-fashioned hubris, to use fancy words. Now, granted, confidence, and understanding that, yeah, I really am one of the smartest guys in the world, that is part of who Tony Stark is. He really is one of the smartest people in the world, and he has a right to be confident in his abilities. But he also needs to understand that he has limitations, that he is not above mistakes. And you see, I see in Tony's things I've seen in people in life is that they seem to think that if there's a formula to life, if I can just do this, I can be the perfect person. I can go through life and not make any mistakes. If I can just figure out the right procedure, the right formula for things. And that's an illusion. Life doesn't work like that. You can't make yourself so perfect that you don't make mistakes, because human beings by their nature are flawed creatures. Flawed creatures cannot attain genuine perfection. They can improve themselves, but true, genuine perfection is not something that is capable of being created by a flawed being. And that's just the way it is. Now, I know I'm getting a little existential there, hitting on some very big ideas that people have been debating for thousands upon thousands of years. Plato and Aristotle and all that other fun stuff. Although if you really know anything about him, most people have good reasons to say screw Aristotle. But we're talking about children's cartoon shows here, so maybe it's time to bring things back down to punching, people in colorful costumes punching the hell out of each other. And we do get to see plenty of that. This is some really good action stuff, and I always love a good thing, a good fight where the villains and the heroes pair off, and everybody, dances with their sparring partner, and then of course they always end up switching, and that's what saves the day. Here, that's what saves the day for the villains, and I really liked that. That was very smart. And it really serves to remind us that the Skull is no fool, and there's a reason why he needs to be taken very, very seriously. Now, granted, they were all unconscious there. You kind of have to wonder why they didn't just say, hey, Skull didn't just say, like, okay, Hyperion, burn Captain, use your eye beams to burn Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye to ash. Oh yeah, I guess he could do that with Falcon too. Thor and Hulk, they'd probably survive that, or at least would wake up enough. But still, why not? Or why doesn't just the Skull leave, and the rest of them finish them off? Or why doesn't the Skull just target the missiles to blow up that part of, I guess, Nevada or wherever it is that they were? Because there's no way Iron Man's getting them all out of there by himself. That really was not a very smart move on the Skull's part. And, of course, the whole 2 missiles aimed at 2 different cities. Come on, man. That's, what was that, the first Superman movie? Yes, the original Superman movie from 1977 with Christopher Reeve and Gene Hackman and Margot Kidder and all that other stuff. Dude, except it was like Hoover Dam in Hackensack, New Jersey, or something like that. I have to say, it seems to serve a little bit better dramatically trying to blow up Las Vegas and L.A. But anyway, still, despite a little bit of flaws here and there, this is still a pretty good episode, and I'm glad that the show is kind of kicking things up a notch. I think this has really been something that's needed. And that covers everything I got for you guys this time around. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Who's Your Jedi. Till next time, take care and have a good one.